One important point that we need to note: if I have an object moving in a circle at a constant speed, we have established that the fact that the velocity changes direction, we must have a centripetal acceleration. Now, Newton's second law tells us if we have an acceleration, then we must have a net force, which is the net force is the mass times the acceleration, or the acceleration is the net force over the mass. Okay. So what this means, if an object is moving in a circle, there must be a radial force to account for that radial acceleration. Now, the name for that net force, which is the sum of all external forces, in this particular case, we call it the centripetal force. Let me be clear about this. The term centripetal force is not referring to a new type of force. It's not a new force like normal force or weight or whatever. The term centripetal force refers to m times the radial acceleration, m a sub r. It refers to the radial force that's responsible for just changing the direction of the velocity. An example: Earth, Moon. The Moon is in a circular orbit around the Earth. It's moving around the Earth with a constant speed. So it has a centripetal acceleration. The centripetal acceleration points towards the center of the Earth. Now, if it has a centripetal acceleration, it must have a centripetal force. What's the centripetal force in this case? The only force that's keeping it in a circle. And what's that force? It's the gravitational pull of the Earth. So in this case, my centripetal force is just the gravitational force exerted on the Moon by the Earth. There is only one force, it's an unbalanced force, and that force is my centripetal force. That's the same case for a satellite in orbit around the Earth. In other cases, for example, if I'm tying a mass to a string and whirling it around, let's say in a horizontal circle, then the centripetal force is going to be due to the tension of the string, if it is a horizontal circle. Now, if it is a vertical circle, the centripetal force here on top is going to be the combination of the tension of the string and the gravitational force. If it was at the bottom of the circle, it's going to be the tension of the string minus the gravitational force, since they are opposite in direction. So in other words, what I'm trying to stress here, centripetal force is not a new type of force. It's just a special name for the net force that is responsible for just changing the direction of the velocity.